Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tyler and I just do consistent content on all things related to hockey in the NHL overall. And yes, the New York Islanders defeated the Florida Panthers in that best of 5 qualifying round series, only needing 4 games and doing so. Very impressive. Really was, like I said, unbelievably impressed by the Islanders and their play. So that's what I'll be discussing with you today. A summary of this series, my thoughts on this series, and what is next for these two teams going forward, both in the Florida Panthers and the New York Islanders. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoy this kind of hockey content. I'm so close to 300 subscribers, so any love would really be appreciated. Trust me, you won't regret it. This is only the beginning of a lot of amazing and great things that happen on this hockey channel, but I'm continuing the series of doing my reviews on each qualifying round as they have come to an end, and I fully expect to do plenty more today as we have a total of 6 elimination games that could possibly have teams ending their postseason runs this early starting today. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. Defense prevails, and that was evident in this series between the New York Islanders and the Florida Panthers. Going into this series, I felt very up in the air as to who I was going to pick to be the winner. There were certain situations where I had the Panthers winning in 5, but then I ultimately picked in my last review, and if you've seen my predictions video a couple videos ago, make sure you check it out if you haven't. I had the Islanders winning in 5 in this series, and they won in 4 in really impressive fashion. But that went hand in hand with, of course, having a subpar defense in the Florida Panthers and Sergei Bobrovsky just not playing up to par. He made some big saves, but overall just wasn't enough, and that contract is looking worse and worse by the day. The only way I thought the Panthers would even have a remote chance of winning this series, besides having a stellar offense that did not show up at all, was Bobrovsky finally playing up to par to his contract, and he just didn't do that, which led the Islanders to take full advantage of the situation. But when you look at this series, the Islanders were just lights out on every front, offensively, defensively, shutting down the Panthers' offense completely, besides some special team goals they gave up. Mike Hoffman looked great in that series for the Florida Panthers, but besides that, really not much there. The Islanders outscored the Panthers in the series 13 goals to 7, when you have an Islanders team that was more of a bottom feeder this past regular season when it came to scoring, and you have the Florida Panthers that were a top 10 team in scoring this year. So defense is evident in prevailing, and that looks like it is going to be more and more evident going into the rest of these qualifying rounds. Look at the Leafs and Columbus Blue Jackets situation right there. I won't be surprised if Columbus wins that series without question, given how well their defense and goaltending has been. But besides that, the Islanders really impressive there. You have guys like J.G. Pageau, who they acquired at the trade deadline from the Ottawa Senators, looking amazing, scoring 3 goals in this series. And Anthony Beauvillier, and wow, look, I'm a Rangers fan. If you've been following me, you know that. But I have so much respect for the Islanders and this rivalry they have between each other. And Anthony Beauvillier is such a Ranger killer, and he is a killer against so many teams. You know, it's funny because I was doing predictions on guys who I really think are going to lead this year's playoffs in goal scoring. And my brother looked at me and said, Anthony Beauvillier for the New York Islanders. And I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But looking into it now, Bo has 3 goals already in this qualifying round. Amazing. He has really been lights out for the Islanders, really helping with that offense. J.G. Pageau as well. Bo led the way in points in this qualifying round with 5 points, which was very strong. Then you had Ryan Pulock, who looked really strong on defense, can contribute offensively, had 4 points as well. And then Pageau had 3 goals, like I said. But Anders Lee, the captain, has still not had even 1 point in this year's playoffs, and that does make me worrisome. You know, I did a video a month or so ago explaining 5 players that really need to step up, have the most to prove in this year's playoffs / qualifying round, and Anders Lee was one of them because he hasn't put up good playoff numbers in his career thus far, and if he's going to keep sleeping like he has in this qualifying round, I'm a little worrisome for the Islanders going forward. I hope for their sake that their captain can step up for them because they desperately need him to going forward to have more depth in that offense, of course. But sorry for my coughing. From the Panthers side of things just really didn't click at all when it comes to their offense. Mike Hoffman led the way, of course, with 5 points, including 3 goals, really looking strong, especially on special teams. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him this offseason. Are the Florida Panthers going to let him walk? Same with Evgeny Dadonov, or are they going to try to re-sign him? I'm not sure. I think it's in the Panthers' best interest to try to re-sign at least him. Definitely not both him and Dadonov. It'll just be too much on the cap, and they have some good winger depth going coming in from their prospect pool going into next season. But then you have Alexander Barkov, their captain, at 4 points, but really nothing crazy. This offense just did not click enough like they needed them to. And Semyon Varlamov, the goaltender, the Russian goaltender for the New York Islanders really stood on his head, looked fantastic. He clearly looks like the number one going forward for them for sure. And then you have Sergei Bobrovsky, the other Russian goaltender, who did not fare nearly as well. Just really could not make the big saves when the Panthers need him to. And yes, that defense is sketchy, but there's no doubting the fact that Bobrovsky has not played up to par with his contract by any means. But what's next for these two teams? Well, you have the New York Islanders, of course, they are advancing to this first round of playoffs. And then you have the Florida Panthers, who will now have a chance at Alexis Lafreniere, that first overall pick. Them, along with the 8 other teams that end up losing in these qualifying rounds, will have that equal 12.5% chance at winning in that second draft lottery, which is this Monday, August 10th. I'm so hyped for it. I hope you are too, especially Panthers fans. Look, it won't hurt at all if, say, you lose this qualifying round. You end up with a guy like Alexis Lafreniere, can really take you guys over the hump into being a solidified playoff contending, if not Stanley Cup contending team going forward. Yes, they need defense, but Alexis Lafreniere on an ELC will not hurt by any means for that team in that cap situation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. They are definitely not happy about this situation. They are in a win now stage. I'm very curious to see what the future holds for them. But for the Islanders, they are going back into the playoffs, and who knows what's going to happen. Maybe they will have a deep playoff run this year. Maybe they will surprise people. They've done it in the past. I won't be surprised to see them do it again. But the Islanders now face a tougher task in playing the second seed coming out of that round robin from the Eastern Conference. So whether that be the Philadelphia Flyers, the Boston Bruins, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Washington Capitals, I'm not sure. But whoever it's going to be, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a tougher task than, say, the Panthers for this Islanders team. But look, they are fully capable. They have such a pesky team to go up against. They shut you down defensively for sure. And their forwards are just great when it comes to back checking and forechecking. They really do it all. And Barry Trotz, who's been an established coach in the NHL for so long now, has a cup on his resume and is proving that he is still able to take this Islanders team into a possible deep playoff run. And then you have Coach Quenneville the other way for the Panthers. I think he still has a promising future with them for sure, as they are in this win now stage. I think he's still a solid fit, even though that defense definitely needs to get fixed, but it isn't all his fault there. But Barry Trotz looking strong for the Islanders. I'm happy for them as an overall hockey fan. I can't say that I'm ecstatic as a Rangers fan, but there's no ill will here, especially with the Rangers not even in playoff contention. It would have been awesome to see that rivalry in this year's playoffs, but the Rangers obviously did not fare well against Carolina Hurricanes. But with that being said, that's going to conclude this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Islanders fans, how pumped are you? Who do you want to see go up against in that first round of those 4 teams that are going to be in the round robin? And for the Florida Panthers, you have to at least be excited about the chance at Alexis Lafreniere having good draft positioning. Things could be worse. I know you guys want a deep playoff run. You're due for it, but with Sergei Bobrovsky, how he was playing, and that defense, realistically, how far were you guys going to get? But let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear all your thoughts. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of hockey content. As I mentioned, check out my previous videos and previous qualifying round reviews right down here below. I think you'll enjoy them if you like this one. And thank you all again, guys. I'm sure I'll be posting at least another video or 2 today. But with all those things being said, thank you all again, guys, and I'll be back again soon.